A question I get asked sometimes is, how do I handle playing and making videos about all of those games where they're pretty much the same? Well, when it comes to baseball or mahjong or other genres like that, I try to find what's special or different in that game. Find the thing that would make someone, back when it was released, buy it over any of the other ones. And in the case of Kore ga Pro Yakyuu 89, it actually is a bit of a different kind of baseball game. Well, we have seen other baseball games like it over the course of this channel, but it is very different from the other baseball games we've seen on the PC Engine. The first thing you'll notice, and this is because it's on the title screen, is that Kore ga Pro Yakyuu 89 has a complete license for Japanese professional baseball. Every team is properly represented, they've got their logos and everything, and every player in the league is modeled in the game. Well, 252 players in the league. I'm not sure that actually covers everybody, but it's close enough. You've got your choice of playing one match, the entire season, which in this game is the pennant race, or playing directly against your friend. When it comes to gameplay, Kore ga Pro Yakyuu 89 is a bit different. It's not an action-based baseball game in the style of Family Stadium. Instead, it's a management sim. Kind of. It gets a bit complicated. For the most part, you're playing as the manager of the baseball team. Players will take care of the moment-to-moment duties themselves, but you can hit select to bring up a menu, and give signs to players telling them what kind of pitches you want them to throw, or if you want the fielders to move in or out, or if you want the batter to bunt. When a hit occurs, you can also tell people that you want them to try to advance a base or stop where they are. Also, before the game, you can set up your team, swap out players, change their positions on the field, change the batting order, the things that you'd expect to be able to control. However, there's one more option. You can turn on manual control for players. Every controller hooked up to the PC Engine can only control one player, but that means you and 5 of your friends can make up just over 50% of a baseball team. The control of that player works a lot like Family Stadium, except you're only controlling that one player, and when it's time for you to bat, you control when you swing, but your player's stats seem to affect how likely it is you are to connect with the ball. I know that from the perspective of video games, baseball strategy games where you handle managing a team can feel a bit weird, but it's a genre of game that predates video games by decades. Board games that put you in the shoes of a baseball team's manager and used real players' stats goes back to the early 60s. Early baseball games on computers took a similar strategic approach, and baseball management strategy games have been released on the Famicom at this point. Kore ga Pro Yakyuu must have resonated with some people since it got a sequel, and then it got reworked slightly to become a whole new series on the CD-ROM. Though they somehow managed to give that CD-ROM series an even more generic title. We'll be seeing a surprising amount of in-tech baseball going forward. Of course, sports games tend to not be well remembered decades later, and in the case of Kore ga Pro Yakyuu 89, I found that in the rare cases where the game came up, people preferred to talk about the baseball teams of the era rather than the game itself. Still, it did have some people who appreciated the strategic approach to a baseball game. From my perspective, I feel like this does an adequate, but not really a great job of being a strategy game. There's just not enough for you to do as the manager to really make it feel like you're in control. Also, a comment I've seen from time to time on other baseball games of the era is that the developers tended to make the Hanshin Tigers too strong, probably because those developers were also from Tokyo, and this was despite the Tigers being in a slump at the time. Well, the Tigers are a really bad team here. I always pick the Tigers when I play these games, and they got trashed. I don't even think better coaching on my part would have helped them. So I think that's a point in Kore ga Pro Yakyuu 89's favor. They seem to be more realistic than other baseball games of the era.